Welcome back to tonight's Sad Reality, where I'm gonna have a really hard time focusing because this game is a really fun game though. This is called Zuma's Revenge. What am I gonna talk about today? I mean, this game typically takes place on a kind of like a fancy vacation island, although for the sake of this, I'm doing the Iron Gauntlet just because it's funny, it's short, it's kind of fast, and I don't really have too much to talk about tonight, so I'm gonna make the absolute most of it while I can before I die, because I really suck at this game. But it is fun. Look at that, pre-bonus. Anyway, so what am I going to talk about tonight? Kind of the idea of being in a better place. And speaking of better places, my screen placement's probably going to be a little off because, for starters, this game is like in a really weird resolution. So the only way I could find to make this work was basically zooming my OBS in like a ton. And it really does not like that if you did not know. So, can't say I recommend trying that. I'm going to have to reset all my OBS settings after this. But yeah, so tonight's talk is kind of, the idea is, it feels like everyone in life wants to be in another place than where they are now. And I'm sure you've always heard, like, the grass is always greener on the other side. Really generic, not really adding too much to that. But what I will say is, so am I about to beat this? Am I losing? Feels like I'm losing. Time to lock in for a brief second. Purple. I know you can still lose after this because you still have to clear the rest of these. But so I've got a lot of coworkers that talk about, like, they'd be rather than any other place than stuck in Raytown, and like, hey, trust me when I say I feel that. I talk about that, like, literally every other night. Match like if you relate, I guess. But, where else do we have to go, you know? Kind of the idea is, a lot of my coworkers are like, hey, I'm going to go back to college, do a lot of stuff, and I'm like, okay, when are you going to go back to college? I don't know, what are you going to do in college? Well, I don't really know either. I lost. Iron Gauntlet. Wow, I suck. Girls not do Iron Gauntlets. How about that? Already aced all these, I guess. So one of these I haven't aced. Guess we're doing this. So, like, one of my coworkers, for example, I was like, the year's already halfway over, that's so crazy to think about. And she's like, I don't want to hear about that. That's, like, crazy to me. That's not a good thing in a lot of regards, too. She's like, I don't want to be stuck here, you know, but looky where we are, I guess. Stuck here, so. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but I do definitely realize that most of us don't want to be working here. However, it's not like we're really going to find a better time to just, like, go do other things, you know? I mean, there's no time like the present. So I guess I've just never really understood why we don't just make the future that we want. You know, it's always felt to me like we're kind of our own limiting factor in that sense. So I really want to get that coconut. But I messed it. I messed it, messed it up. I do a lot of things, a lot of messing up. My vocabulary is not very clear, and I've also noticed that when it comes to literally just communicating with people in general, sometimes I really suck at enunciating, or speaking clearly, or honestly just communicating what I wanted to say in the first place. I don't know why it's, like, so hard for me, but, welcome to having an average 20-year-old male vocabulary, something like that. But I guess later in life, kind of what I want to do, I really want to do YouTube full time, so, oh my gosh, no, OBS! Okay, hopefully this won't get much worse. It's already been a mess, if you can't tell, not doing this in full screen. Hopefully that didn't just absolutely screw everything up. But I was gonna keep it short tonight, kind of just like, I want to do that, and I gotta make a plan for it. Have to schedule all these things going, and I guess kind of may the best man win when it comes to finding a dream, finding a passion, and committing to it, making things happen, you know? So, I definitely realize it's not something that everyone can do, so. What I've always told people is, in your field, what sets you apart? Especially with content creation, the big thing being, why you? Why not literally anyone else? Why you? You know? And if that's a question that people can't answer, then I don't really know what to tell people, you know? Especially, like, all the intellectual fields especially, I feel like, and no hate to programmers, despite kind of being one myself, I feel like the personalities are all kind of adjacent and all that. If you find someone that's more talky or like knows how to present, something like that, I mean, it makes you a really good applicant in applicant pools, you know? So that's a standout trait. Might as well use that. I feel like that just kind of goes for anything in life, you know? And then maybe one day you'll get to that better place. Also, I just realized this was timed. I didn't realize that. I literally don't play these videos at all. I was just like, you know what, I'm playing this game tonight because I thought of it. It was on my mind while I was eating dinner, eating spaghetti and meatballs. That's kind of my idea. I'm guessing this is not an ace. Well, at least I beat Jeff, whomever Jeff is. So yeah, thanks for watching. I literally spent probably more time tonight literally just fixing OBS and trying to get this to work than actually, like, recording. So welcome to this channel, I suppose. Hopefully I've got a better idea for tomorrow's video. Just trying to keep the streak alive at this point. Although I don't want to get in the habit of just doing the same thing over and over again. It's kind of boring, you know? It's not just like a one-off here and there. Everything's got to be special in its own regard. So thanks for watching. My graphics are glitching out. This game is so old and I wouldn't recommend it, but it is like a fun game in the arcades. Something like that. So, have a good rest of your night. Thanks for watching.